Hi, so today we're going to be playing some PlanetSide 2 beta. Finally got into it. So this is what the screen you come to when you first go in. You have to choose a faction between these three factions. There's hopefully in the final game there's going to be some sort of story or something to help you choose a faction, because there's nothing at the moment. And then there's like the next part after that is sort of selecting a server to join, and you get a server population sort of bit on the right hand side there, so you can see how many sort of like percent of the people playing are that faction, each of the factions. And then you come to this part where you can create your character. There's not a whole lot of character creation, but to be honest, it's a third-person shooter, so you're not going to see your character anyway, so it don't really matter. And I don't think you really need to worry too much about what the face looks like, because as you can see there, you've got kind of a helmet type thing on, and sort of glasses over, so you don't really see a whole lot of the face. Then you have to come up with a name, so I just called mine Grease. And it's just kind of few details there telling you what faction, server and level, I guess, or whatever you are. And then it takes you to sort of like I think it's like a tutorial area, because it kind of tells you, if you look at that bit there towards the bottom in the box there, it kind of tells you that once you reach a certain rank, like rank 15, you can leave and go to other areas, or you can kind of skip and leave early if you want to. I'm gonna kind of this was the first few minutes here. I'm gonna skip in a minute to another part, because I kind of walked around the sort of base area, the opening base area, for quite a while, trying to figure out what all the buttons were and everything, and what everything is, because it doesn't really tell you a whole lot. It doesn't really say go here, go there, or what these terminal things are for, or setting up your character. So I just kind of walked around a little bit and just kind of explored. So I'll show you a little bit of the opening area. This was obviously the bit that I spawned into. Sort of as you come to these terminals, a little something comes up, but there's no sort of, not that I could see any objectives or anything. That's kind of like an overall map. Then four bigger areas there, I guess, are the main areas of the game that you go to and help your faction. And that smaller one there is the starting area.
One of your most important terminals is the equipment terminal.
And then you've got this equipment terminal, so you can
Resupply
change
ammunition
your loadouts and switch between these different loadouts and that, whichever one you wanna set yourself up as. You can be a medic, or sort of like an engineer, or just assault, or sort of a light assault, so you kind of a faster person. Um, I don't think there's a whole lot unlocked in the beginning. I think that's what happens with the game as you progress, because it's sort of, I guess, as you level, you're going to unlock things, and there's going to be things that you buy from the store, and that are like little microtransactions. Hopefully most of it's going to be just skins and stuff, and it's not going to be like overpowered stuff that you can only buy with real world money. Okay, so I cut to this part. This was after probably about 20 minutes or so in the game. I found this little area that I can just practice, like a little practice range. This was still in the pretty much in the same areas where you first start. It's I think I came outside, walked around outside a little bit, and then I kind of turned back and went to go back, and kind of went through another doorway. I think this was lower down. The place that you start off is like a bit higher up in the building, and this one's kind of like I'd say probably like a basement kind of area, or lower down area anyway. So you can just practice with the guns and stuff there. Just try it all out. Things were popping up on the screen as well, so I don't know. Maybe in the full game, this is probably when you first start, you probably have to come to this area. It'd probably be like objectives to come to this area and do certain things, kill it, like shoot the targets a certain amount of times and things like that before you can go on to the next thing. And there'll probably be another objective marker taking you somewhere else, like maybe to like the vehicles and practice with the vehicles. So now I'm swapping to the sidearm, and if you tap the triangle button, you change to your secondary weapon, and then hold triangle. And I went to I was a medic at this point, and went to this kind of other sort of medic device that was supposed to revive, and I still haven't figured out how to use it. One thing that annoyed me in the beginning was that you have to hold down the L3 button to run. If you let go of that, you stop running. But I found it in the options. It's there, sprint toggle to on, and then it's like Call of Duty and the rest of the sort of first-person shooters, where you just press it down, and then you just push forwards and you run until you sort of stop moving, and then you stop. And then this was kind of a battle area that I finally got to. Hey, I leveled up. That was my first bit of action as well. I'd kind of come to this area. I went back to the map that I showed earlier on, and selected another area to deploy at that looked like it had a bit of action going on around it. So I deployed here, and this is like a base that I think we're protecting. And there's objectives at bases around this base, so it's all about sort of capturing other bases, but they're quite far apart. But luckily there was some players from other factions were attacking this one, so there's a little bit of action here. See, there's that weapon there, well, not weapon, device that you can use to heal. So I could see someone else using it to revive someone, but I still can't figure out how to use it. If you press L1 while you're the medic, you get kind of like this green aura type thing come out in front of you, and it kind of heals yourself and other players in your same faction that are quite close by. But I still don't know how to use that device. I've been standing next to people quite a bit when they've been down on the floor dying, and trying to get them up, and nothing seems to happen, so I'm not sure. I need to practice on that a little bit more. But maybe a little sort of tutorial at the beginning would be nice, you know, to teach you like the abilities of each of the roles of these different characters that you can select. With the engineer, it's pretty easy, because all you have to do is just press left, I think it was, on the D-pad, and then you can place a sort of like a turret device thing down that shoots, that you can just, you know, select, press the button next to it, and then start to use that. But that same button doesn't seem to do anything when you're in medic. This is that little green sort of aura mist thing that comes out next to me that sort of can heal me, and if there'd been other people around me, that could have healed them. But there's obviously that device that you have that you can use to revive people, but just don't know how to use it. So this is like the map kind of area. So this like shows you sort of like the different areas. So this is like under our control, this base, and then the borders there is on another sort of the other team's faction. So if you capture that other base, then I'm guessing that obviously you kind of push forward and that becomes your base, and then you control that area, and then you just keep pushing forward and protecting your bases while capturing the opposition factions. There's quite a lot of running around. Obviously found out later on that there's vehicles that you can just go and spawn and that to get there a bit faster. But as I said, when you start the game, there's no tutorial or anything to tell you um, where to go to get these things. It's all like looking on maps and things like that, and it's big areas, and there's a lot to try and pick up in the beginning. So it will take quite a while without any sort of help or tutorials or anything like that. It's going to take a while to pick everything up and know how everything works. And obviously with this being a like a beta, it's kind of, there's not a lot of people online at the same time. So I'm hoping that this is just due to that it's the beta and there's not a lot of people online. But when it comes to the final release and it comes out and everyone can get in on the game,
You can
that
rearm ground vehicles
these
and
kind of
ammo
bases are
supply
going to be
towers.
quite full up with people and big battles going on. So it doesn't just feel like a bit of a ghost town with just like small fights. I did do a little bit after this that I didn't record, unfortunately, that did show um, a battle near this vehicle that you can use to spawn next to. Just on them rocks behind the character right now was there was a little bit of a fight there for about 5-10 minutes with maybe about 8 or so of us against 8 of the other faction. So that was quite nice. But I'll have to do some more, and that's it for this video. Thanks guys, bye.